Sydney as a city has between 4 and 5 million people. There are around 600 core activities that are taking place. And there are two approaches that the community takes to its own growth and development. The first approach is really working with the whole community through efforts with the youth, efforts in terms of children's classes and devotional meetings. The second approach is in a neighbourhood or a small part of Sydney. The first approach, where there's a broad learning across the whole community, is able to bring insights to the work that's happening in the focused areas, but at the same time, where there's focused energy, the learning can go quite deep. And so this is able to be shared throughout the cluster.
Community building efforts in Sydney aimed at working in neighbourhoods had begun sometime in 2008.
We're really trying to see how we can go deeper into a community and how to reach a large proportion of a neighbourhood. We also wanted to learn about having institute camps. So we started experimenting to see how we could take a group of youth very quickly within 2 or 3 cycles through the whole sequence of courses, so that by the end of the 2 cycles we had a group of tutors.
I started the process about 3 years ago by being invited to an institute camp. Now I'm a tutor, junior youth animator and a children's class teacher. My mum also is in the process. Yeah, I guess this journey, it wasn't something that happened overnight, but it's something that took place and really made that foundation of my family becoming unified. To share this passion to want to serve and to want to come to the institute camps is, I don't know, it's a great feeling.
So after the institute process entered the community, people really saw the value of the process itself and really took ownership of it. And now it's the people of the neighbourhood who have become the driving force of change in the community.
We were part of the first intake, so we're what we're called here as the veterans. The program has changed my way of thinking. I have a purpose now, to serve, to teach. We have a lot of diverse cultures here. If I wasn't involved in this program a few years back, I don't think I would even be here sitting with Aboriginals, Australians. I was always the person that stayed with the islanders, and that's how it was for us growing up. But now I have this sense of diversity where I want to be friends with everyone, all different cultures.
It was really hard to bring a lot of different people together, but we really grew a lot. We had a deeper connection because we were going through this process together. And now whole families going through the process. They're now consulting together and solving problems amongst the family.
To us now, it's not even a program, it's just a way of life. My kids enjoy being involved, even the animator, I don't look at him now as, oh, that's just your animator, He has become like family to us, and it's not often you have your kids coming home and being like, you know what, Mum, if you think about it this way and you go about life that way, and I'm the parent, and to have them sitting there and changing my mind, changing my train of thought. Yeah, it's all because of what they're learning. Like I said, it's changed not just my kids' life, but my life too, for the better.
Through these community activities, we can see that the youth are thinking of each other and of each other's families, and the families are thinking of the community as a whole. In many instances where the community has gone through tragedies with families, maybe there have been deaths in families or financial problems, the youth have banded together to try and assist that. It feels good, to see that we're affecting the community in such a good way. It feels really awesome to be that change.
The youth have a unified vision, and they're focusing and they're channeling a lot of their energy to, you know, transforming their communities.
I'm studying youth work and I'm hoping to do a diploma and try to get into uni and stuff like that because I thought maybe I'm doing this all the time. Why not just get my qualifications? Like, why not be able to broaden, like make it like a lot more where I can help people?
We all committed ourselves to a lifetime of service. We tutor Ruhi books together. We start core activities together. We accompany many other people, and it's a very special relationship that we share. Yeah, it's just grounded in service, I think, which is the most beautiful thing.
Sometimes I ask myself, you know, where would I be if it wasn't for, you know, this movement and this process? Because really, at this point in my life, there's no other way I would spend my time, my young years that are limited. Yeah, I thank Baha'u'llah for having enabled me to serve my community.
After seeing how the Institute process really affects the neighbourhood and how much change can come through it, the youth decided to create teams to go out and share the process with other surrounding areas and clusters to help those communities advance. We're not just focused on the advancement of our own community, but we want to see other communities advance as well.
As this process began to take shape, very quickly it began to also influence the efforts of other tutors and other communities throughout Sydney. Once this gathered momentum, one could really get the sense of the whole of Sydney moving.